Welcome back to Cosmosis or Whatever. I'm your host, Celia Marie 1243, your host and guide on your journey of self-discovery. We are peeling back layers of ourselves, mind, body, spirit, understanding how they are all connected, which is what cosmosis means in the first place. For this episode, I just wanted to share this. This is the Spirit Speaks series where we're talking, anecdotes, stories from my life or from the people who I read, just showing you how intelligent spirit is, how intelligent the universe is, and how things really work using real, stories. So today, my story is all about why you should be following your intuition, why following your intuition is so important. So in the last episode, I was talking about manifesting. If you haven't listened to that, definitely go listen to it. How I manifested an absolutely free, aka $0 car. Yes, a whole car. I manifested a car for free. There was other energy attached to it that wasn't necessarily money, but you can hear all about it in that episode. And I wanted to talk more about how I actually manifested, because in that episode, I read from my actual journal that I used to manifest. And I was hoping to do an episode that would talk a lot about how I actually did manifest and different ways, that you should be manifesting, things that you should keep in mind, things that aren't helpful for manifesting, just manifesting tips. We actually did a meditation and a mini class last full moon that was talking about manifestation. But if you guys didn't catch that, I will talk a little bit about some of the things we talked about in that and more on that podcast episode. But in between, I have this Spirit Speak episode where I want to talk to you about a story. This literally just happened, right? So I've been manifesting money, right? I moved here to Nevada. I moved here to Nevada from Hawaii a little over 6 months now. I moved in October. I got here in October, and moving is expensive. So I feel like I'm still kind of recovering from everything, adjusting to having a lovely girlfriend who lives with me. We're living together, and then my doggy, and just, anyways, so I've been manifesting money lately, and this story is just to show you guys how important it is when you're manifesting, or even when you're not, right? Because we're constantly manifesting. Maybe you're not intentionally manifesting anything, but your vibration, what you are aligned with, your desires are still constantly manifesting, whether you write it down on a piece of paper or in your journal or you're meaning to or not. We're constantly manifesting things towards us. But in this case, I was literally manifesting money. And so I've been manifesting money for, some weeks now, and I'll talk about it in the podcast episode with my tips, but it's really best to take on like a set it and forget it type of attitude when it comes to manifesting, because when you manifest, but you're constantly manifesting the same thing over and over, you are not putting yourself in the vibration. You are not vibrationally matched to you getting that thing, because if you are constantly manifesting, that means you're worried that you won't get it, right? Why else would you continue to manifest? If you take care of something say, for example, you pay a bill, which is very much part of this story. So say, for example, you pay a bill. You're not going to keep paying the bill. Why? Because it's already paid. So you're not going to stress over, oh, okay, well, I need to pay the bill again and again. No, you've already done it. It's the same thing with manifesting. If you're trying to manifest a sum of money, if you're trying to manifest an opportunity, a person, I don't recommend manifesting people. That just came like out of my mouth. Don't manifest people. If you want to hear more about that, let me know somewhere, and I will definitely do a whole podcast episode on why you should not be manifesting people. And there are a few kind of, I guess, disclaimers for that. But overall, you should not be manifesting specific people, especially the way that people do it. Anywho, this is why you should be following your intuition. Okay. So I have been manifesting money, right? And this is also kind of a tip on not worrying so much and really having that trust in the universe, in yourself, in the universe, that everything will be taken care of. That if you are manifesting from your goodest of hearts, from your soul of souls, from your highest good, your highest path, if you are manifesting from that place, you have to trust that everything is going to work out. So I was manifesting money like maybe a couple weeks ago. And then maybe a couple days after that, I got a bill. Yeah, I got a bill from the IRS. Yay, love them. Not really. But taxes, those are a necessary thing that we have to do, whether we like them or not, right? So I have a business, I'm a business owner, I owed on my taxes. So I'm not going to lie, I was slightly stressed. I knew that I owed money, but I was just glad that I did my freaking taxes in the first place back in April, that I did them on time. But I got this bill. It was a few $100s, not a couple, it was a few $100s. And I was instantly kind of like, oh shit, like, dang, I gotta pay this. Like I said, I've been trying to save up money, kind of get my account back into where I want it to be after, moving and dealing just with life, right? And I'm not going to lie, I was slightly stressed, but I kind of had to have some talks with myself, some talks with my spirit guides, and just be like, okay, you know what? I'm not worried about it, because I know if I do what I need to do, I know if I take care of what I need to take care of, that the universe will also have my back and everything will just be, taken care of in general. I've really been trying to work on my limiting beliefs about money. On Patreon recently, I posted a list of, I think, 11 common, let me look at it actually right now. It's up on my computer. I posted a list of, I think it's 11. What are your limiting beliefs about money? So one of them that I definitely have is that, I'm not good with money. So yeah, that one's a hard one to deal with. Or, it's hard to get money, right? So you'll know if you have that limiting belief, if it's hard for you to pay bills, right? If you are struggling, to pay your bills, or you wince when you have to pay a bill, even if you have the money. Because here's the thing, guys, I have the money in my account. It will bring the money down, obviously, however much the bill was, but that alone made me wince. And that's how you have some limiting beliefs around money. Because if it wasn't, say, for example, if I had more money in my account, I wouldn't even wince at a couple $100s, a few $100s as a bill. But that is the kind of that's a mindset of abundance. And I was working more in scarcity when I was afraid of that bill. But that's why I was kind of like talking myself through it. And I'm like, okay, listen, money comes to me easily. Money comes to me fast. Every time money leaves my hand, more money comes to me. And that's kind of some affirmations that I've been working on with myself. But what this whole episode, this quick episode is really about is about following your intuition. And sometimes it's not even necessarily you who needs to follow your intuition. It could be somebody around you following their intuition, and that helps everything fall into place. Before I tell you the rest of the story, there is a podcast, or not podcast, it was a TikTok that I did like years ago, I'm pretty sure. And it was a message, and it was like, do you ever think that by following your own intuition that you are, affecting the world and maybe helping other people accomplish what they are trying to manifest, right? So maybe you have this intuitive notion that you need to go to the grocery store, and then you see somebody who is homeless, right? And maybe you have a couple dollars on you. Your intuition tells you to give them a couple of dollars. Maybe that's the only way that person would have eaten today. Maybe that's something that person was manifesting for themselves. But it never would have happened if you would not have followed your own intuition. And in that way, our whole world, our whole universe is made up of those links. Those little, I'm seeing it like a spider web, right? In my third eye, I'm kind of channeling it like a spider web. It's made up of all of these little links to each other that really make the world go round. So all that to say, so my girlfriend the other day, I had the conversation with myself, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pay this bill. It's not going to be a big deal. It's fine. I'm going to get the money back. I have enough money to pay for it. So that is, I was trying to really sit with myself and be in an attitude of gratitude that I even had the money to pay for it in the first place, right? And so I started to pay it, and something was wrong. I don't know, the IRS stuff, like it's always weird. So for whatever reason, I was having a hard time paying it. So I was like, okay, this is stressing me out. I'm just going to step away from it. I'll come back to it. In that day that I stepped away from it, my girlfriend and I were just having a casual conversation, and she was like, oh, you know what? We haven't checked our mail in a long time. And I was like, oh yeah, we haven't. And I didn't necessarily feel super compelled to go check the mail, but she did, because we hadn't checked it for a while. And so that day when she came home, she brought the mail, and she brought me something, a piece of mail, and it looked like a check. And I was like, I was joking partially, but I was like, oh, this looks like a check. And she was like, yeah, it does. I was like, wait a second, is it a check? And I'm not expecting any type of money, any type of check, any type of that. I wasn't expecting any of that coming to me. But I had been manifesting, so I was like, okay, well, let's see what's going on. So I open up the check. It is a check from the IRS for way more money than what that bill that I originally had was for. Now, immediately I was overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude and a sense of yes, miracles happen. Me and my girlfriend have both been getting a lot of messages about miracles and allowing them to occur in your life. So I was like, yes, this is beautiful. And then I thought about the petition that I wrote to manifest the money, and I was like, dope, this is so cool. Look at me, I was worried about paying that low bill, and this is more than what, I was even necessarily expecting, because I wasn't even really expecting anything, even though I was manifesting money. Remember I said, set it and forget it. But it was really cool to kind of feel that. After that I went through a couple seconds of that, I was like, wait, is this real? And so I did. I went and checked to make sure it wasn't fraud, because listen, I've been faked out. Maybe not that way, but I've been faked out a few times with some fraud things, Cash App scams. That's a whole different story. But I checked it out, and it was all legit. I think it was just a leftover payment from taxes that I filed years ago that was just now coming through. And I would not have gotten that money as soon as I did. If my girlfriend had not followed her intuition to go check the mail. So that's just to say, especially when you're manifesting things, but at any time, make sure that you're following your intuition. And it doesn't have to be directly connected. That's the whole point of cosmosis, right? How would I know that checking the mail would be connected to me paying this bill and manifesting the money that I was manifesting? It could be anything from you going on a trip. Maybe you just really feel like you need to go on a trip, and maybe you don't have as much money as you would like. And that actually happened to me when I went to Puerto Rico. I felt this huge pull to go to Puerto Rico back in April with a friend of mine, Debbie London, if you guys know her. I really felt like I needed to go. My finances weren't quite there, but Spirit was really telling me like, no, you need to go. And so I had that trust. I went. I discovered something so important when I was there. And I don't know that I would have discovered it that soon had I not gone on that trip. Also, my finances were fine. That's the main thing I was worried about. Of course, I wanted to go to Puerto Rico, but I was concerned about finances. Also, since my girlfriend and I moved in together, I hadn't taken any trips or anything without her. And I low-key felt bad, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. But I really felt within my spirit, my intuition. It wasn't an ego thing. I checked it with myself multiple times. It was not an ego thing. And if you haven't listened to the episode about intuition versus ego, definitely listen to that. But like I said, this is all just a message, a reminder for you to listen to your intuition, because you never know where it will take you. And that might also include you getting everything that you ever wanted. The things that are deepest desires for you, things that you've been manifesting. Don't sit here and manifest and then don't listen to your intuition. You're doing yourself a huge disservice. I hope that this was helpful, that this made sense, that it will inspire you to listen to your intuition in everything that you do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.